Hello everybody, my name is Susan. I am 58, I am size 22 and 5'4" tall. This is Susan's Sweet Life. So today's haul is all about occasion dresses. Maybe like me, you've been invited to a wedding. Maybe you've got a christening, a summer fete party, maybe just a lovely tea party to go to, and you want an occasion dress to suit. I'm even thinking some of these dresses might be suitable for a race day, a ladies' race day. Let's see how these fashions fit and flatter me. You may recognise this dress. It is the infamous tomato apple dress from my new look haul, but I do like this print and I did think it would suffice as an occasion dress for me, so it's made it into the haul today. Do you remember the sleeves? You can have them unraveled or you can pull it up tight to have a smaller shoulder strap, and then these sleeves flitter and flutter. It's round necked with that diagonal pattern there. It comes down to some ruching underneath the bust, long skirt, a little split and some ties on the side. I didn't like this dress that much because the pattern is mismatched. But I figured if I'm wearing a big hat or a fascinator, a nice bag, nice pair of shoes, you might not notice that so much. So apologies if you have seen this dress before, but I thought it was worth putting in this category of occasion dresses. And I think I forgot to say that the tomato dress was £19.99. This one's a little bit more expensive, but you can tell why. It's actually £47.99. Is it called like a burnt out divorce, where the pattern isn't completely coverage? You can see that it's sheer in some places, and then there has got like this textured sort of applique floral flower pattern. It's coming over a little bit more red on the camera. In true life, I would say it's a slightly duller red, almost got a coral type hint about it. Maybe if I show you the lining, you might get a better idea of the colour. It's got a V-neck there. Again, this sort of ruching underneath the bust line, so that must be obviously very flattering. Then it goes down to this full skirt. I showed you the lining in the bodice. It's also got the same stretchy lining in the skirt as well. No doubt it's all man-made fibres. It is, yes. And this, like the previous dress, was a size 22. As I've mentioned at the top of the video, that is my size. It's going to be quite long on me, maybe too long. Will I be the lady in red at the wedding? So are there any taboos about wedding colours that I should avoid? I know it's a big boo-boo not to wear white. I appreciate that. There's only going to be one person wearing white and they should be the one that stands out. But are there any other colours that I should avoid? I don't think I would like to wear black. I think a black print is fine, but I don't think I would want to wear a plain black dress. That's almost too sort of funeral-y, isn't it? But are there any other colours? Is red for danger? Maybe I shouldn't be wearing red. I don't know. So help me out if you do know proper wedding etiquette down below, please. Oh, this is so pretty. Gingham is in, but look at all the different ginghams in this patchwork pattern, and then they've got a little floral pattern in each of these sort of check designs. A really lovely silky fabric. Got elastication on that sleeve and it's lined inside, so it sort of creates like a little bubble there. It's got a round neck again. There is a large peephole on the back with a little Rolo button. But it's got a seam along here with just very, very light gathering. Oh, that's not good, is it? Oh, can you see there are some snags on this fabric and it is hanging up. I don't know, can you see? Well, believe me, there are some threads that have been snagged there right in the middle. That wouldn't be a good look at all, would it? It's got some substance to it, this skirt, because there are 2 rows of frills along the bottom. This is a gorgeous dress. It's so different, isn't it, in that pattern? I really do like that one. Size 22. Oh, $39.99. I think that is still a good price when you're getting things like a little covered button. They've definitely put the money and time into this dress. Beautiful. Sorry, there's no price on this dress. I will put it on the screen. Oh my word. I don't think I totally appreciated quite how backless this dress was. So there are 2 silver buttons there that hold straps across the back, but this entire area has been cut out. To keep it tight, there's elastication at the bottom of that cutout. It is a lovely pattern though, sort of a coral red background with all these lovely fuchsia pink flowers and some quite nice bold green on there too. Just a little elasticated sleeve, not as big and bushy as the checked gingham dress, but there's lots of other features. V-neck, that's going to be important for me, and some lovely gathering under the bust. Goes down to quite a straight skirt, but it is quite full. Now this is a much thinner fabric than the gingham one, so I would presume it is a cheaper price, but of course I'll put the price on the screen. I like it, but is it going to be too daring for me? We'll have to see. Again, this is a dress that you have seen previously. It's actually the same style, the exact same style as the black apple tomato / dress. If you don't know what I'm on about, go back and watch my new look haul and you'll understand totally while I refer to it as the tomato dress. It's got that same sort of pull tight cinching element on the top there, round neck. Do I need to explain it? It's just so different in this really beautiful pink fabric with these really bright fuchsia flowers on and quite a green acidy sort of leaf pattern on there. Is the split too much for a wedding? I don't know. Somebody said I had good legs. Maybe I want to show them off. I think this dress from Monsoon is an absolute bargain. £48. Apologies, it has been in the bag getting to me and it is very, very creased. Could that be an indication of how creased it will get? You know, sitting down in the church, you're going to get those lines across, aren't you? Hopefully. I don't know, we'll have to see, because it is a man-made fibre. It's not got cotton or linen in it or anything, so it should be okay. But this is going to need a really good iron. And you can see that where it has been so squashed up, because this sleeve has got this beautiful bow detail, but it's all squashed and not lying very flat. Those sleeves will benefit from an iron to make them stand up, but you can see how that bow detail is just on the end of that sleeve, and I think that is really, really nice. It is buttoned all the way down the front, and the buttons are covered and fixed on a little Rolo buttonhole there. And to help with any gaping issues, the back facing is quite substantial, so hopefully when that elastic sort of stretches and gives as you're moving, you still won't get exposed, because they've made such a good feature of this really nice placket and facing inside. Another sign of really good quality. So it's like a tea dress, Empire line tea dress. It's got this line here across the bust line and then goes down to this full skirt. Of course, it's the pattern, isn't it? This baby blue with these randomly placed yellow ochre flowers with this also sort of like a sagey green leaf pattern. Quite contrasty. I don't know if I would have thought about putting yellow and green with blue. Don't they say blue and green should never be seen? Or is that blue and black? Well, anyway, this dress is blue, green and yellow. A bargain from Monsoon for £48. And if I forgot to say, this is actually ordered in a size 24. I think I might have thought it is quite a sort of close fitting dress and not being sure of how Monsoon sizing goes. So I've ordered this in a size 24. It's a beautiful dress. I found it. This certainly at the moment is the best dress of the haul. I love this dress. But what did I say about wearing white to a wedding? Would this still be counted as a white dress? Because there's been this big fuss recently, hasn't there, of Danny Dyer's daughter's wedding. Danny, she's also called Danny, getting married to a famous footballer, I presume. And somebody, a guest, wore white. And it's been a big boo-boo in all the sort of entertainment pages anyway. Would this class as a white dress? I don't want to be that person. Everybody's going, she shouldn't have worn that dress. But this is an absolutely stunning dress. It's high collared and then this gathering comes down. You can see how it is cut away. So I don't know what I would do about the bra situation. I'd have to get a strapless bra. It's hard enough finding a normal bra, let alone a strapless one. And then you've got these frills that just hang over the shoulders there to cover the bingo wings. It goes down to elasticated waist and then all these pleats. I certainly won't have any problem with creasing with this sort of chiffon viscose fabric. Of course, because it is quite sheer and it is viscose, it's also lined in another viscose. There's no stretch to the lining though. Oh, I've just noticed there is a zip down the back. Where is it? Here. There's a zip down the back and it's so well concealed I nearly missed it. Love it. Absolutely love this print with these sort of like cornflower, forget-me-not blue flowers, yellow flowers, corally flowers, and of course with floral patterns you're going to get that hint of green too. Oh, let me know, is this considered a white dress or will I get away with it? So that is the 7 dresses. I'm going to put them on now. Fingers crossed. I have a hard decision picking which dress I'm going to keep. Do you know what? I am really considering this dress. I think it is such a bargain for £20. And if I can look past the fact that this panel here that they have inserted to ensure that the skirt flares out isn't perfectly matched up, I think this could be a winner. I think that because not only is it only £20 and we have to consider the price of attending a wedding. Going to my nephew's wedding is going to cost me at least £300 to £500. So if I can save a few pounds on the dress, that is appreciated. The hotel room, £175. And there's just me, that is just one person staying in a room, £175. Then you've got to consider your transport issues, getting a taxi to the church and onto the venue, drinks at the venue into the evening. What else? Oh, I've got to get accessories. Yeah, even if I just buy this dress, I'm going to have to buy a fascinator, a handbag, shoes. And of course, you want to show your appreciation to the groom and the bride for inviting you to share their special day and buy them a nice present to send them on the beginning of their wedding journey together. So, if I can save a couple of pounds on the dress, I'm going to be winning there, aren't I? And I do actually like this dress. I think it is so very different, and I could imagine wearing it again. I think you dress down, I could wear this with some trainers and maybe a denim jacket, and then you can dress it up with all those accessories. So yes, certainly a consideration that I am going to be thinking about. But I've got another 6 dresses to try on. Maybe it's the first dress is always the best, or am I going to save the best till last? Oh, this is a shame. This dress is just slightly too small for me over the tummy area. I feel I've got enough room here, though it does feel a little bit tight there. It's the tummy area. It's quite a close fitting dress. Hasn't got that extra banding that the tomato dress has, and obviously has given me that flare so that it's not so tight. Another issue is you can see my underwear underneath because it is very, very low cut. Though this really hugs really, really nicely. It's a good length on me. It's down to sort of like the top of my ankle, a nice little pair of shoes, and I think it would be a nice length. The elastication on the sleeves is nice, and I like how this shoulder here sort of bushes up. This little sleeve has got a nice bit of height there, and that's something I often complain about. I've got small rounded shoulders. I need something with a bit of height. Having to readjust that there. Obviously I could not wear this shapewear underneath. I would need something a little bit more substantial here. Maybe can I size up to New Look, go up to a size 24, or is my long awaited and hoped for diet going to start working? Of course it can only work if I start it. Right, okay. We won't go there. Of course, the big feature for this dress was the back. I haven't had to undo these 2 buttons here to slip this on, and I think that sits quite nicely around the back of my neck. This big cutout detail, what does it look like? I obviously haven't got eyes in the back of my head. I'll have to refer to the footage when I've finished filming. Does it look nice? Is it just a little bit maybe too risque for a wedding? Help me out, ladies. Obviously this one is a no-no. It's just too tight here, but I could size up, or I could go on that diet. Right, I like this one. It's got its faults, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but I am thinking a September wedding. Of course we can't guarantee it. This is flaming June and it's so overcast and spitty and horrible out there. Who knows what September may bring? You know, from one day to the next it's going to be sort of temperamental, isn't it? Well, these sleeves give me a little bit of warmth and coverage. Maybe if it is too hot, I'm not going to get sunburnt. And if it's too cold, it's just going to give me that cover up. Most of these dresses that I've got in front of me, I would have to consider maybe a shawl or some sort of little shrug or a jacket, just to make sure that that isn't an issue. So maybe I should just spend the money out on the dress to begin with, and then I haven't got that extra item to buy. I think it's also easier when it's just a plain dress to come up with some accessory ideas. I'm loving this burnt out Devore fabric here, and you can see it's definitely coming over that more orangey coral because I've got a bright light next to me here, trying to compensate the fact that it is such a horrible dull day outside. Is this hugging me in the right place, or is it just emphasizing everything? This is a very low V. To be polite, I think I would need to do a stitch, but I'm not sure if that is going to allow it. Which brings me on to another point of etiquette for a wedding. I mean, I've been on Pinterest, I've been looking through all the different shops. My word, some of the risque outfits that they consider suitable for a wedding. Maybe if you're in your 20-somethings, you can get away with it. I wouldn't want to get away with it. Of course, I could if I wanted to. I am totally entitled to wear whatever I want, but I wouldn't feel comfortable. You know, I feel a bit uncomfortable. I got a bit of a plunging neckline there, let alone, you know, a one-shouldered or just spaghetti straps or whatever. Some, you know, the more modern ideas of what a wedding guest dress is just blows my mind, to be perfectly honest. But there again, I am of that upper age group. Just showing you the lining there, and there's some stretch in this, so this is going to be comfortable, but of course it's all man-made. Am I going to get too hot? It's no doubt going to be a beautiful day. I can see it now, so please, bride and groom, do not have any concerns about that. Could I ruche those sleeves up just to maybe get a little bit more air going? But I don't know. I think this fabric's just a little bit too wide. It looks a bit odd, doesn't it? Now, I can hear you screaming, oh, go and put your hair up. It'll look nicer with your hair up, and get a fascinator, put some shoes on. Actually, I have thought about that. And in my next video, the next one completely after this, I'm going to be taking some of these dresses and actually styling them up with hair accessories and shoes and handbags. So make sure you come back and watch that one too, because I've had the same idea. You can't get a complete idea of what something's going to look like if you don't style it up. In my normal everyday sort of fashion videos, you don't need to see a pair of jeans styled up in a pair of trainers and whatever. You can use your imagination. But I think when it comes to an occasion dress, you do want to see just the final look. So I quite like this one. This may be the one. I've got the same sizing issue with this one as I did the red floral pattern one. I think it's even worse on this one because this is obviously a bias cut skirt, which I had not appreciated, and I'm a little bit annoyed really because I like this one. I think it's got enough sort of elevated features to make it suitable to be an occasion dress, and it is in this beautiful sort of satin fabric and such an unusual design that I feel I could really go to town with all the accessories. And if you can see the bottom there, I'm trying to get back as far as I can, just look at that lovely double frill around the bottom. I think that looks really nice, and because you've got that weight there, even if it's a blowy day, this skirt's not going to blow up. And sometimes when you've got your confetti cone and your clutch handbag and your glass of champagne, you haven't got a spare hand to keep your skirt down, have you? Of course, this is not the size for me. I think I would have to size up. It feels just as tight around here as here really, but I do love this dress. And I referenced earlier with an earlier dress, wasn't it, that yes, I am attempting to start a diet. That's at the stage I'm at. Do you know what I mean? Healthy eating. Of course I mean healthy eating. I'm at the stage when I'm thinking about it, and I start on a Monday and by the Wednesday it's all fallen apart again. But I'm at that stage, so it's definitely on my mind and I'm going to get there. I just can't maintain it at the moment. Something always comes along and throws a spanner in the works. Now, if I come up, oh yeah, can you see my bags here? I'm not sleeping. I can get to sleep fine. but I cannot stay asleep. So I'm waking up 4 o'clock in the morning, and of course by now it's what, 10:30. I'm feeling absolutely shattered. So apologies if my words aren't coming out coherently, and if I'm stumbling and I'm forgetting to give you the prices and the sizes. Don't worry, I will have filled it in on the editing process, because my mind's all fuggy and, you know, full. So bear with me, please. Anyway, back to the dress, because I think it deserves it. I love this pattern. This could be absolutely stunning, maybe for somebody who doesn't carry their weight here. Maybe just not for me. And here I have the pink floral version of the tomato/apple dress. Is it more suited for a summer occasion because it is in this beautiful pastel baby pink colour? I think it probably is, actually. I could feel much more comfortable in this dress at a wedding, I think. But I feel, because it is in this lighter colour fabric, it exposes my lumps and bumps just a little bit more. I referenced earlier that the seam on this dress, and an earlier video I meant, hits higher than the black one, which hits me here. I've got a large back. Just shows the inconsistencies that New Look have when it's exactly the same style dress in the same size, but the patterns have been cut and sewn so slightly differently. You can see this ruching so much better on this dress though, because of that pattern, and it's got that same panel insert here, but because it's not that stripe, it's not so noticeable. It is this inserted panel here that is giving me the room over the tummy that the other dresses haven't, and I appreciate that. Again, that little split. So this is a much more sort of pretty, floral, feminine, romantic dress, I think, to wear to a wedding. What do you think? Do you like it? I'm very tempted. You know that price point is attracting me. I'm not a cheapskate, but I am frugal with how much I spend on items and what I spend it on. I like this one. This is the monsoon dress, so it's £48. It's essentially quite a very nice sort of cotton dress, but I think you could elevate it for a wedding. It's blue. Well, the bride wears blue, doesn't she? A little bit of blue. So why isn't blue a lucky colour for a wedding? And it's offset, of course, with these beautiful big blousy roses. And of course, roses are indicative of a wedding too, aren't they? I'm liking this. This is a size 24, and I think it fits quite nicely. Could I have got away with it at 22? I'm not entirely sure. There's this band of elastication shirring here that is pulling in over the hips and the bottom, and it's falling really nicely into this long skirt, and it is quite long. Some styles I feel you can get away with it because of this full skirt. I'm not sure if it's a little bit drowny. I'll have to look at the footage. I'm looking at my second camera there. I like the covered buttons, and I sort of referenced how good quality it was because it was underneath. Again, it seems to be the style now, doesn't it, to have this ruching underneath the bust there. Is that doing a good job? Right, the sleeves. You can see the bow detail on the bottom of that sleeve there. Just keeps it in place, and it's just about covering the bingo wings, so I can't complain there. Flatters quite nicely, doesn't it, over the tummy and the bum. Doesn't broaden me out too much, does it? Or is there not enough definition for my waist? I'm not sure, but I do like this, and I think for monsoon, £48 is quite a bargain. I seem to have the knack for saving the best till last, and I think I've done it again. This is without doubt my favourite dress. I just think it is absolutely stunning. I'm trying to adjust it because I haven't actually been able to do these Rolo buttons up. I've tried several times. It's so hard when you can't see what you're doing, and on the morning I'm more than likely going to be getting ready on my own, so I'll have to wait for somebody to turn up to pick me up to do it up. I hope the taxi driver is obliging. So I've had to tuck my bra straps down because otherwise you would have seen them. A strapless bra is a must. I would really struggle with something that was substantial enough to hold me up. But I do really like this feature here. I like my shoulders, and they're emphasised by this band going around, and this ruching here I think does quite a good job to actually sort of take your eye away from this area. Maybe some of those dresses I tried on that have got that ruching was drawing more attention to them. The sleeves, they're lovely, aren't they? They're covering those bingo wings really, really nicely. Of course, the pattern, how is it coming up? So when I'm standing away from the camera, I'll have to see, is it sort of blending in? Is it bold enough to distract from the fact that this is a white background? Oh, such a shame. Why couldn't they have just done it in a different colourway where I wouldn't be so worried about the fact that it had a white background? Now this little sash belt, I've just sort of done it in a knot. I don't think it's very flattering when you do it up in a big bow. It just adds bulk and it's just dragging, isn't it? Maybe a very fine little white cream belt, or maybe a little yellow one or blue, would just help define the waist just a little bit more. Loving this floaty pleated skirt, and of course it's over this lining here. There's no stretch in the lining, but there's so much skirt, and the lining is nowhere near tight, even across the tummy. I've got sitting down eating my wedding breakfast room there. So yes, loving this dress. If it wasn't for the colour, I think I would sort of say, yeah, I found the dress, say yes to the dress. I didn't need to undo this zip that is down the back, and you're probably not getting a good view because these buttons aren't done up of what it will look like on the back. But it's going to have not a too big a peephole, is it? How does it fit here? I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. So, what did you think of the 7 dresses that I picked out for occasion wear? Maybe you're going to a wedding, going to a ladies' day, the races, a christening. Which one took your fancy? And if none, maybe not. Let me know down below. And don't forget to come back for the next video where I will be styling these up, hopefully with some coordinating fascinators, handbags and shoes. I want to look the part for my nephew's wedding. Push that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, comments down below. Most importantly, just come back and see me again. Goodbye for now.